Welcome to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz alongside the top dog. It has been a minute, but we are reunited. Good to see you, partner.
Where the hell have you been? I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous how long it's been since you and I have been on the air. I can't do it, Gab. I mean, just promise me we won't wait this long again.
I know. The separation anxiety was real.
Oh, my
The one day you called me, I thought you had something to tell me, and then I love Hanford's phone calls because they're so brief. He's like such a man of brevity on the phone. He's to the point, and he's like, all right, never mind. Okay, bye.
yeah, I am that way. I have to say that. But, you know, I know you want to know what I've been doing and what I've been up to. And
Yes.
I have to tell you this. This is pretty interesting. Okay. Monday, we was it last week or whatever. Just recently, we had the Browns golf outing.
I was going to ask you how you did on that.
Well, you know what? Actually, I didn't play as well as I thought I was going to play because I was coming off of a golf trip with Ozzy down in first we went to Montgomery. We played at one of the Robert Trent Jones courses down there. And there's this tournament, a guy by the that owns Yellowwood, which is a lumber company down there. And like Nick Saban was there, like Nick was the guest speaker and all this whole thing. But to get back to your question, I didn't play as well as I thought I was going to play. But
You were still recovering from...
Well, I take that back. Down there, I did. I almost had a hole-in-one, Gab.
Oh, okay, down with Ozzy.
That's the one. I almost had a hole-in-one down there, so that was pretty good. And then we left there, and we went to Birmingham at Ross Bridges, which is a resort down there, and we played for 3 days. And that one was kind of tough because, you know...
I thought you looked a little tan.
Crown Royal was... and you know what? My head was peeling, too, so I got too... I really got too much sun. But where I was headed with this whole thing, Monday... We had the golf tournament for the Browns over at Westwood Country Club, and a lot of the players were there. I think Kevin Mack. I was only 2 alumni there, though, myself and Kevin Mack. But, I mean, obviously there was 5 of us playing. We had a foursome plus one, and I was the plus one. It was a pretty good afternoon. I mean, a lot of the players were out there. I had a chance to talk to Jimmy, the owner, and it was just a who's who at this golf outing. And we don't have to tell you the charity work or what the Browns do as an organization as far as the community. And obviously they raised a lot of money that day. I guarantee you that. Not that Jimmy needs the money. You know, we all know him and Dee. I wanted to call him money bags, but I didn't call him that. But
Money bags.
It's always good to see him because he and I, we know, he knows a guy that I went to school with, a guy that played free safety with me at the University of Southern Mississippi, a guy by the name of Bubba Busby, who's a very, very close friend of mine down in Laurel, Mississippi. And Jimmy asked me, he said, well, did you know that he died? And I said, yeah, I did. And I didn't get a chance. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to go to the funeral, and obviously he didn't either. But he and I knows a lot of some of the same people. But I've been doing that, and I went to the golf tournament, and then other than that, I have just been just taking it easy. But you and I, we are going to there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to, obviously, the basketball game is going on right now.
Yeah, we got the NBA Finals still going.
Finals.
Cavs still on the hunt for a head coach. Your Guardians have been super hot.
Yes.
You know, Tyler Freeman just led the Guardians to their first series win over Miami in over a decade.
Yes.
So these boys have been hot and leading the AL Central. Shoot, we're like top 3, top 4 in Major League Baseball right now.
Well, you know what's going to be interesting, too, because you and I, we're going to jump into a little bit of this Caitlin Clark controversy that's going on. She was not, absolutely not one of the 12 players that was chosen for this 2024 Team USA Olympics. So we're going to have to...
we'll dive into that. And, David
man.
Njoku hosted his first celebrity softball game for charity over the weekend as well. So plenty of baseball to talk about, ball in general with Caitlin Clark. Let's take a short break, and we'll be back right after this.
You got it.
Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. I have just, breaking news, gotten the photo of Hanford's almost hole-in-one. And honestly, this is actually just frustrating. This is the most frustrating thing I've ever laid eyes on, to be honest.
Gab, you got to look at this. I mean,
That's too close. I'm actually mad at you.
Yes. Why?
You didn't have an extra inch in that swing. You didn't have just a little more oomph, just a hair, baby hair.
Listen to this. That was a 155-yard par 3. I hit an 8-iron. So Ozzy and I are playing, and listen to what he said. As soon as I hit it, he was watching the flight of the ball, and he's like, Dick, I think it went in. I think it went in. He said, I think it went in. And the whole time he's hoping that it didn't go in.
I know his competitive side on the inside was like, oh. Because he's never hit a hole-in-one, has he?
He has never hit a hole-in-one. And then we get up there and we see how close, just one roll. And I walk up to the hole. And, that's the slowest walk that I'm walking to the hole because I'm hoping that the thing would take one more turn and flop in the hole. And I wanted to just take my foot there and just hit it a little bit to maybe
get some wind going.
Get some wind going or something. But yeah, I've never had a hole-in-one, and that's as close as I've ever come. So
I'm proud and disappointed at the same time.
So one of the guys we were playing with, this guy named Greg Warner, who took a picture, and it was exciting, and it just felt so good. Yeah. Now, this is the thing that I hate, and you know about golf. The thing that I hate, how come I can't put that swing together on every single swing? Some of them, they go right, some of them go left, and some of them don't go at all.
Now, be honest. Did it go where you thought it was going to go, like exactly? I mean...
It did, because...
When you swung it and you saw it in your brain where you wanted to put it.
Yes, because you can tell when you hit it really good. I mean, you can tell when it was a good swing. You could tell when everything that teacher or whoever you've been taking your golf lessons from, everything clicks on that one swing. And that was one of those swings that I wish that I can hit it the same way, just like that, every single time. So that's my golf story.
How about your baseball swing? Because, David Njoku hosted his first celebrity softball game recently, and I was thinking, wonder if Hanford has any power in him for like a home run.
No. Let me tell you about a baseball story too, and I'll get off of this real quick. I could never, I wanted to play baseball. But I would never stay in the batter's box because you couldn't guarantee me that ball was, when they throw a curveball, and maybe I've told you the story once before.
You were afraid of the ball.
I was afraid of the ball. I mean, you couldn't guarantee me that ball was gonna curve, and I would wear the uniform, and I would what I would do is I would go slide on the clay and get my uniform dirty. So people would think that I was, a good player and that I played. But I mean, I'm just...
Hey, you know what? That's pretty smart.
What is this, Hanford Dixon story day? Because Gab, you have a way of drawing all this stuff out of me that I...
Because we were in the break just daddling around as we do, like just chatting it up. And I was singing a church song as usual. And then Hanford goes on this whole little story time about...
Were you singing Amazing Grace? Okay, here you go again. Here you go again. You're gonna drag another story out of me. I have to tell you this one story.
Yeah, you do. Come on, it's too funny.
This is funny, man. I mean, because growing up, I'm Southern Baptist, and growing up in the church, and my mom and dad and my sister and my mom, like you, that was her favorite song, Amazing Grace. And we go to church, and then we would come home, and my dad would be mad at my mom, and we're like, "Why are you mad at my mom?" And he swore that the pastor was looking at my mom.
She had the voice of an angel. Yeah. She captivated everyone in the audience, including the pastor.
Yeah. And my sister and I, we laughed so hard, and my mom used to say, "Get away from me with that nonsense. You know that man's not looking at me." You're going to get me in trouble. I got
know.
to stop telling all these stories.
Well, your stories are so funny. I'm glad that you snuck that one on the show because we got a good kick out of that in the break. Hey, we could recap the softball game because I did put a little highlight reel together since you weren't there to show off your batting skills.
Well, before you say that, before you talk about this game, I got to tell you this. So, again, I was in Columbus this weekend.
Oh, okay. You got more. This man is busy.
This is
You're so popular.
Well, this is a good one. I was down there. I was doing a little gig there. And I walk into the bar, the Hilton, Polaris Hilton right there.
Okay, yep.
And I'm sitting there, and then this lady, bartender, she looks at me and she said, "That's you." I'm like, "What is she talking about?" She said, "That's you." And then she looked up on the screen, and there you and I are on the screen. Our show is playing right there at the bar. And she said, "That is you, and don't try to tell me that's not you."
That is too funny.
And then all of a sudden, everybody come up to me and they want to talk, and then but
it is funny. I do see it playing at different spots. I don't have TV, so I never know when any of my stuff goes out. But it is kind of funny to see us.
You know what? You are the James Brown. You are the hardest working woman I know. You're all over the place.
I have been recently, I will say that. I've been hustling around.
Well, before, I know we're going to get into this Njoku thing, but at some point, we got to get into those Guardians.
Yes, we do. Well, what do you want to talk guards first, or you want to?
Oh, my. Are they playing well right now?
I love that you keep up with baseball.
I love baseball. I'm a big Yankees fan.
Okay.
But the Guardians come before the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's the Guardians.
I'm sorry.
With me.
Let's not just gloss over that. Rewind.
Well, with me is
30 seconds. Did you just say that you're a big Yankees fan?
I'm a huge Yankees fan. But with me, it's the Guardians first, then it's the Yankees. And I have to tell you this, and we're gonna jump into this a little bit more. My two teams, talking about the Guardians and the Yankees. Obviously, the Yankees.
I just can't get through that sentence.
The Yankees have the best record right now in baseball, and I think then it's Philadelphia,
Phillies,
and then
might be us.
the Guardians
or Dodgers. I think it's
no. It's I want to say it's the Guardians tied with Baltimore
for
the third spot. So, and again, we're going to jump into all this, but
Well, you really, pun intended, threw me a curveball on this Yankees thing. I didn't know that you were a big Yankees fan.
Are you kidding me?
Why? Because you're bandwagon because they've won stuff?
No, I've always, absolutely always.
Is it because you keep your hair short like they do? clean shaven?
I've always loved the New York Yankees, but they're second to the Guardians, because the Guardians are my favorite team. But and again, I'm a little bit upset with them because they sent down one of my favorite players.
Florial.
Yeah,
But he could be back. He's in AAA.
Well, hopefully he's coming back, because I think he's going to be a big power hitter, and I think he's going to be able to help this baseball team. But then again, you look at a lot of the other players, young players that they have up here right now, and they're playing extremely well. Our pitching, you can't say enough about our pitching. We're getting it. We're getting it done. But I just don't know what's going to happen toward the end of the season when you got those guys, and then you got a guy like Judge come up to the batter's box. He's a threat every time to go deep. And then you got, is it Soto? Is that his name? In there. And then you got, they just go on and on and on, and so much depth. But those guys, when you look at their payroll and then you look at our payroll, then you know why the New York Yankees are. And it's just amazing to me.
That's what I've been saying.
What this front office has done with this baseball team, with the amount of money they've spent compared to what the Yankees have spent. And I'm not as fortunate as you. What I mean by that is because you get a chance to, and you're there pretty much at every single game. But you're working. But you're working though, right?
Just the weekends.
Are you working?
Working weekends, yeah.
Good.
But it is fun to have a front row seat to how incredible this team is.
And then I'm a little bit upset with you because you come in here, you walk in here with the new gear.
Yes.
From the Guardians.
Go ahead, show the people.
The new logo. That's
you got to hold it up.
That's awesome right there. That's awesome.
Look at the side logo.
The CLE, And that's pretty neat. I like that. Where's my gear?
Don't worry, I'll get you some. Maybe. Wait, this side, it's a mirror. Okay, yeah.
Well, we have a special guest gonna join us next?
We got to take a break, and then we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon show. I'm Gabriella Cruz, and here's my partner, the top dog.
The top dog, Hanford top dog, Dixon.
We've spent some time away, so it's been nice to get in studio, jaw at each other between breaks and such. Get back to our usual.
Yeah, but you got all this Guardians gear and just don't share it. I mean, I don't have any. I mean, Big Dog, she give you any over there?
You got to message the Guardian. You know what? I'll put in a word for you. I think we could hook the top dog up with a
You should be
a
ashamed of yourself.
jersey.
You should be ashamed of yourself. That is just low down. Low down.
I've been busy. I'll have to swing by the team store. Don't quit your belly aching. What size are you?
I'll take an extra large.
I know you've been lifting a little bit.
Extra large, yes.
We'll get you that XL jersey. You know, we were talking Guardians. I had Stephen Kwan on my new show, Cruise in Cleveland. You'll have to be my next guest.
That was so funny, though. Gabby looked at me and she said, "What size are you?" She said, "Well, I better get this one right." You know, she's looking at me like, speaking of Stephen Kwan, I mean, outstanding player. Just so happy he's back.
He's been doing really good, even coming off the injury. Kind of looks like he never left.
Did you see that big home run he hit?
I asked him about that in our interview. I was like, where's this power coming from?
He's probably looking at you like, what do you mean, where is it coming from? I've always had power.
You know what's funny? He gave a more scientific answer about his short limbs and stuff and like how he kind of watches what Jose does. Like, it was really interesting. I didn't think about how the different players leverage different things about their body, like their structure. And where you're at, like your leverage and things.
What do you think Tito is right now? You think he's...
He gave the blessing on the team saying, we're the real deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who he said it to. Someone was just telling me this about, you know, he definitely verbally was able to validate how good this team is. I mean, we can have a really bright future this season.
Well, you know, I haven't been to a game yet, and that's really surprising to me.
You're avoiding me. I get it.
Well, you would think all my friends...
You're burnt out of me.
You would think of all my friends I have, you know, some of them would, you know, with their tickets, they would, you know, say, hey, man, you know, you want to go to a game, but, you know, no one's invited me. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to... I get my own damn tickets.
That's all right. No, I can listen. I can hook you up with tickets.
I know you can. You just like you can hook me up with some of that gear. You better hook me up with some of that gear.
You're just baiting me into getting some gear and tickets. You know I'll hook you up, top dog.
Yes.
We'll get to that. Speaking of baseball, we got softball. David Njoku's first celebrity softball game for charity was a success. We got to chat with a handful of Browns players, and I think you'll appreciate this video. Let's go ahead and roll it, Michael.
Atmosphere, you can't beat it.
I'm from here. This is my hometown, so city of Cleveland. I love it, man.
She's obviously a power hitter.
I think Granny needs to at least get one home run.
Yeah! You got a not hit today. I'm looking out for you.
Probably won't hit.
Why does this charity mean so much to you, and the fact that all these people show up for you?
Community's all we got, ain't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we is all we got, so we got to take care of our own. Having my boys from my team and even like anywhere else. The fans is very, very grateful to be here.
Predictions, Miles versus Njoku.
High-scoring game. Good guys will come out on the right side of things, 12-9.
How many hits for you? How many bombs?
Say 2 hits, 2 bombs.
Who scores more?
Me.
What do you love most about Cleveland?
I don't know whether to say the fan base or the food.
What's your favorite spot?
The vegan club.
Games that you got your eye on?
First game, definitely. Just to get back to playing football again, get back with the team, and try to get that first win of the season.
How's the team chemistry looking?
It's crazy. It's building up.
You know, with that bond on the field, the chemistry is just there, and we can play to our full ability.
How about your bond with Kevin Stefanski?
Kevin, he's the man. He's a GOAT. So I love playing for him, and he's doing a heck of a job for this organization.
I just banged out. I know. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. They're not a gun show.
Gun show at the end, Amari Cooper.
Gabby.
He's like, it's a home run derby, not the gun show.
Gabby, great job.
Oh, thank you.
That was a really, really good piece. It's just so great watching the guys get together and all of them just that team chemistry that they're starting to build, and just keep it going on the off season, because before long, I mean, obviously they'll be back at. They've had their little camps here and there, but they'll be back in training camp, getting ready for the season.
Yeah.
And such a great thing, though, Njoku. Were there a lot of people there?
You know what? This might have been the most people that they've had at one, because, you know, Travis Kelce came, so I think that helped get the people and the Swifties out. He was a good time. He didn't do any media, though. No Cleveland media and on this trip of his. He just strictly enjoyed himself. It was a really fun, laid-back time. But like you said, a lot of the players, you know, I was talking to Jordan Akins, and I talked to a lot of different guys. I wasn't sure what to include in the video because I was trying to keep it short for social media, but I thought, hey, we could air it on our show. But he was saying that one of his main objectives to showing up was just to support David and his charity and to network with the guys, like kind of build that bond and chemistry, get to know people, you know.
Well, I guarantee you this: once they found out that Travis was going to be there, I mean, I guarantee you ticket sales just went through the roof, because there's no way that anyone was going to take a chance that Taylor can pop in here, and they missed that chance of just getting a glimpse or just getting a chance to see her. But you know what? That was really nice of him to well, obviously he's coming back home, but to come here and do this with those guys. You know how those tight ends are. They stick together.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like glue, just like those DBs stick together. Those running backs stick together. Those quarterbacks stick together. You know, the position guys, they're all right there together. But it just seemed like a really, really nice event.
Yeah, there's that mutual respect for each other and the great players in the game. You know who else was there? Our friend of show, Dustin Cook of the Here We Go Brownies podcast. We've got him in studio today, and we thank you for being here, because I know you were there as well, running around. You saw me in all my frizzy-haired glory, and I was kind of hustling when we said hi.
You were coming in like a tornado, doing your thing like you do, and I got to tell you, just first and foremost, you know, we got to clear the air, because Hanford City's not been invited to a Guardians game this year. That would be incorrect. I've invited him, and then I get this late text, "Hey, dog, I can't go," or whatever. So let's just clear the air. He has, so I don't think he should get gear, any kind of gear, Gab, until he actually shows up.
Comes
at the
to a game.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You know what I like, though, guys, and I have to confess, I like just rolled up. You know, sitting at home watching those games on TV. Yeah. I mean, I just really, really like it. But I also,
it's hard to pass up Hammy. You know, you can hear Hammy, and he's great. You know, so
and you can wear your flip flops.
I understand. Yeah.
but I'm gonna go to some games. Dustin, you're right. You weren't supposed to say that. You know. I think you've invited me to about 4 already.
Something like that. Maybe that's why you're not getting your gear.
Well, yeah.
They're like, clearly he doesn't like going to any of the games, so let's just save that for
you know what I'll do, Gabby? I'll tell him last minute, but not last minute. I'll give him time to. If someone else want to go, or if he want to find someone else to go to the game, I'll give him time to do that. But
give me 2 hours. Yeah.
But man, we got to tap into you, because I know you've been pretty much all over the city since moving here. And where'd you move from?
Boise, Idaho.
Where
everybody else is moving to.
Well, let me ask you this, big dog: how you liking Cleveland?
Other than the winters, great. I'll tell you this is funny. So when I got here, it seemed like the sun didn't come out for a month, and so I'm like, when does the sun come out? They're like, May. It comes out in May. You can enjoy the sun in May. But picked up on what Amari Cooper said there. And Gab, I think you're a foodie. The food scene in Cleveland is great. Like the food here is amazing. Like I will say, it is probably one of the underappreciated is how good the restaurants are here and the food scene.
You know what? That's what he said, and I probably should have extended that interview too, because his follow-up answers were pretty good. He said, I like that there's not a lot of chain restaurants. There's just a lot of like underrated food that people don't know about. And because he said the vegan club, I'm thinking, I asked him, I'm like, are you full vegan? And he was like, no, I just, I try to eat healthy, and they're like one of my favorites. So he has his little spots mapped out. And I love that he gave credit to our food, because a lot of people do not in Cleveland understand, or I should say from the outside looking at Cleveland, what a food scene we have.
Yeah. Well, I have to say this is funny, talking about Amari Cooper. Did you guys see that contract that Jefferson just got? I mean, huge. Now here you got Amari that's going to make probably about $20 million a year. Did Jefferson go get this huge contract? I think he's probably going to double that or pretty close to that with those new numbers. And Amari's like, hey, wait a minute here. Hey, something's wrong. I got to go back in and renegotiate this thing. But it's going to be interesting.
Well, everybody made a big deal out of Judy's contract when he signed that. That looks like a deal now. Yeah. And I tell you, that's what Andrew Berry does. He's kind of a shrewd business guy and says, hey, this is what I'm willing to pay. And full disclosure, we look at the Deshaun Watson contract. We thought that was a crazy one. And look where the quarterback market has went since then.
And let me say this before we take a break. I ain't mad at him.
Drop the mic. I ain't mad at him. On that note, we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show. Thanks for Dustin Cook coming in from Here We Go Brownies right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm proud of us. Just blazing through these segments. No problem. He's just funny because he roasts me every time we do a show. You didn't think we'd make it. You didn't think we'd have enough material.
Because you don't have enough faith. You don't have enough faith in Gabby and the Top Dog. Gabby and the Top Dog. Oh, you know what I had? I got to get back. Can we jump back to the you this weekend where you?
Okay.
Did you see the grandma that was out there, and she was I don't know where she Granny.
Yeah, Ross Smith and Granny. They're an iconic duo on social media.
So I didn't know.
She's 96 years old. She's very much still with it. She can't hear very well. But yeah, you had seen in the short video we showed earlier that I did get a chance to chat with her and Ross. She's so cute.
I told Dustin that she was. He said she was 80. I said no, she was in her 90s.
She is 96 years old. We'll bring Dustin back on for this because you were also present. They threw her out at first though.
Well, here's the thing though. That's what I'm talking about. I was watching.
Well, I have a theory on it,
which is actually hilarious. Let's be honest. It's freaking funny.
Yeah, because if you watch it and watch the video, I think it was John Kelly Jr. who was down there, and he made it seem like he was going to let her make it to the base, and she was going to be safe.
She kind of walked down.
Yeah, and it took her forever to get there. Thank goodness for her grandson.
Yes, Ross is her grandson.
Well, yeah, he was helping her get all the way there, and as soon as she got ready to step on the bag, John Kelly Jr. again just jumped on the bag, and she was out. I mean, I said,
it got the crowd going, though.
I said
she's got a sense of humor, though.
But that was bad. I mean,
I think it was choreographed.
I think it might have been.
Absolutely. Well, she's 96 years old. Let's think about this. Do
Ross
you want
is
Granny
funny.
Running 3 bases like that? She can't be running. She can't be going
she can't
around
be
3
out
bases.
there. Well,
she's 96.
Ross could have been a ghost runner, but still,
That's true.
I think it was funnier that they got her out.
You guys missed the point. You missed the point. This is where I say both of you guys have lost your damn mind. Okay, because here's what they were going to do. And you have to know baseball, which you guys apparently
you
don't.
have to show up to a baseball game to know baseball.
To know this, what they're supposed to do and what they were going to do, they were going to let her touch the base. She was going to be safe. And then the manager was going to send someone out to run for her.
That's what I just said. Ross would have been a ghost runner.
Yeah. But
that's not funny.
But Dustin said, no. He said they wanted to get her out.
Yeah, because it's funny.
It's funny.
He doesn't, listen, everyone, he doesn't do social media very well. He doesn't understand that it's a comedy account.
Yeah.
She does a ton of inappropriate, funny humor things. And it's just funny because she's old. Yeah. I hate to say, she's 96 years young. But the whole shtick is that, it was hilarious that they did it.
Well, it would have been funny either way. I mean, I just thought that they should have let her.
You're getting sensitive because are you feeling like you're getting older or something?
I am. I just felt like they should have let her be safe and then let her go back to the bench.
I understand. I know where your head's at on this. I think that's what everyone was expecting.
John Kelly Jr., you should be ashamed of yourself, big dog. You're ashamed of yourself. But you can make it up this season. Just do something good, and we'll forgive you.
Yes. I forgot to tell you this. I also was able to do a little sit-down interview with Josh Gordon, if you guys are interested. Just a couple questions. I didn't want to take too much of his time, but still cool to hear from one of our greatest players ever. Let's roll it.
I might go for the cycle. I might do 4 for 4. Depends on how many times they let me go.
One of the most talented Cleveland Browns to ever wear the uniform. Any keys to your success in your career? How were you so dominant and fast?
You know what? It started when I got here because it had good veteran leadership. I knew some of the guys from college who was on the same team, like Phil Taylor. Y'all drafted him. He was a big influence on me. We always stayed working in the gym. The Browns was always like a grinded out team, and I embraced that part of it and the grind aspect. And then the weight room transferred over to the field. Practice hard, play hard. It worked out. They're still doing it now. Nothing's changed. They're still great.
Your receiving yards, your numbers were quite literally historical. Did you see yourself being in that position?
I'm blessed, I'll be honest. I'm very blessed and fortunate, but I did prepare for it a little bit, yeah. I did prepare for it, but I'm happy I got the opportunity more than anything, and thankful that the Browns let me even do that here in Cleveland. So I got to grow up here. I got to learn here. My career happened here, you know, so again, I'm blessed that I was able to have the time I had.
What do you love most about Cleveland?
Man, the weather actually during the summertime is perfect. Compared to Texas or something like that, it's much nicer. You see I'm in long sleeves.
I
right?
see it.
Right.
Okay, what position are you playing today?
Hopefully the outfield somewhere. I'm thinking I'm doing something in center field. I can cover some ground, so we'll see.
Yeah, he was super fun.
Well, you know, it was funny because when you asked, what do you like best about Cleveland, he said the weather. I mean, I'm like, well, you talking about trying to find something to say. He was, I mean, come on now, Josh, come on now. But I have
well, maybe he doesn't spend a ton of time in Cleveland anymore. But hey, that Texas heat versus a nice sunny day in Cleveland that we had over the weekend, I can see where he was going with that.
Now, Dustin, listen to this. And Bones, he understands. Bone understand what I'm getting ready to say. You know, everybody watched the show. They said they watched the show. They look at Gabby, not me. You know, so I noticed she didn't have a problem. Any of those guys, anyone she wanted to talk to, anyone she wanted to interview, she didn't have a problem. They were right there, and they didn't care how long it took or how long she wanted them there. They were right there talking to her. Now, if I'd have went out there with a mic trying to get them, I'd have had to run them down and fight with them and all that. Now, Gabby.
Now you're the top dog.
Gabby. Any of the boys, you know.
Oh, here we go.
We want to know now. Any of the boys looking at you, looking at your eyes or telling you your eyes are pretty, your hair look good and all that stuff.
Well, as you can see, the hair wasn't as it is today. It's just not quite on point. I need to start doing it. Let's get the elephant out of the room. I've been very busy. I'll get a hair trim. I'll try to get that blowout one of these days, but it's not going to be today, and it certainly wasn't over the weekend at that softball game.
Well, I'm like a matchmaker for Gab, and anyone I have to, they have to go through us, so we have to approve anyone. So that's all I had to.
I know you're putting your disclaimer out.
Yeah.
It's got to go through him first.
Well,
no, understood.
Well, my understanding is though that somebody you've been dating, Gab. I mean, it's a Hanford Dixon dating show now. Let us know. She's blushing. Look at her over there.
I've gone on some dates.
She won't tell you the name.
No,
she
reason. Won't tell me the name. We'll leave it alone. I know.
Nah.
She can give. Hey, Dustin. She can give me one look, and I know when to shut up and leave that subject alone.
I know you're always looking for the tea, Hanford. Don't worry. Off the air,
But I have to tell you this: you did a really good job with those interviews.
Thank
really
you. I
good
appreciate
job.
it.
Really good job.
Hopefully on social media you can check them out. Cruisin' Cleveland, my new show that's coming out, is on YouTube. We're hoping to get it on Bally's as well, but was able to interview Stephen Kwan. One of our Cavs players, George Niang, was the OG episode. I also have a couple Olympians in the works, Katie Moon, who will be going to Paris, and Morel McCain. So stay tuned for those, and thank you
Katie's
so
the
much.
boxer, right?
She's actually the pole vaulter.
Okay, who is the boxer?
My friend Mo,
okay.
$1 Million Mo.
Okay.
We'll be back right after this. We've got to take another short break. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. I almost forgot what we were doing because we were chatting so much before this. We were just talking about the Olympics, too, because of Mo McCain and Katie Moon, who we'll be interviewing for Cruisin' Cleveland. Speaking of, how about Caitlin Clark getting the Olympic snub?
Wow.
What did you think of that?
That's huge. That's huge, boy. And I tell you what, and it's just a hot topic everywhere right now for a lot of different reasons. Everybody me personally, I mean, how can you not put this girl on the squad? I mean, how can you not? Especially when you, I mean, you look at obviously all the names on there. I think there's a total of 12 players that is actually on the roster, and I think 8 out of the 12 they've all played together. They have some kind of chemistry together.
Yeah.
As a team, but I don't care what anyone says. You don't have to start her. I mean, it's not like she can't play. It's not like she can't shoot. You're talking about one of the greatest shooters that's been around for a long, long time. I mean, you have to put this girl on the roster. I just don't understand it, Dustin. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. I mean, I would put her on there just for her 3-point shooting, to bring her off the bench with a 3-point shot. But, this goes deeper. What she's done for the WNBA as a player in a very short amount of time, their team is 3-9. They're selling it out. And she has brought the casual fan into watching WNBA because of her fierce competitiveness and what she brings to the game. And you're right. I think she was even asked recently, if somebody gets injured, will you, now that you got the snub, will you actually now go play if somebody gets injured? And I don't know what she said to that, but she's been getting some hip checks. She's been, they have said, welcome to the league. And it's been kind of a rough start, but I've also been told that she is kind of a trash talker. She works the game. And so I think sometimes, I think there could be a little rookie hazing going here and saying that, welcome to the league.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the trash talk, and I don't have a problem with them talking trash to her. I have a problem with any dirty, illegal hits because I don't agree with that. I think that's bad because you can really injure that poor girl.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot of rough hits, I would say. It looks like that I'm reading now, the U.S. roster for the Olympics didn't include anyone under the age of 26.
Oh.
She just turned 22. Maybe they were looking for more of a resume, even though she's got one. I don't know, guys.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't care. You don't keep her off because, this girl is just growing the game. And you got all of them there talking about they've been complaining about their salaries and they are not paid enough. And look what she's done. She's elevated everybody. And I think they all should want to come along with this ride. For instance, you got one on there, I think Gray, who is one of the 12 that's on the roster. She hasn't played a game all year.
Maybe this was a good reverse psychology move on their part to get people talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's just, as you know, it's just a hot topic. And this girl, Caitlin Clark, I mean, she's amazing. I mean, I could see it if they're just trying to throw her on there and she's not, she can't play. I mean, she's not she's not a good player. I mean, look at this girl. I mean, look at her credentials. I mean, this girl could play. This girl should be on there. I don't care what anyone said. I'm not saying you should start her, and I don't think you're gonna. And let's face it, the team is gonna win anyway, with or without her. I mean, you're not going to tell me that just because we don't put her on there, that if we put her on there, we got a chance of losing. Come on, this girl needs to be on there. That's just my opinion. I'm a big fan, just like everybody else is with this girl. I'm a big fan with a lot of them on there, but I just think you have to have this girl on the roster.
I agree.
How do you feel about Angel Reese?
Well,
she's been letting people know just. So she's another reason all the eyeballs are on the WNBA.
Can you do that again, please?
She's letting you know. Which is funny because I don't even think she has to say that, but I think sometimes she might get in her own head that she doesn't get enough credit or as much as Caitlin.
Right, and she's a trash talker too. And like I said, I don't have a problem with the trash talking. I just don't like it when you do something that's illegal to another player.
Yeah.
I don't care because even in football, I mean, you've heard me say this. We wanted to just hit you. We wanted to hit you hard. We wanted to hit you hard enough to take you out of the game. But we didn't want to do that with a dirty or illegal hit. We wanted to do something that was legal, a good hard hit, and
within the rules.
Within the rules. I mean, as long as you do something within the rules, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But that hit when Caitlin wasn't even looking, I mean, she had a back turn, and they go and just pretty much almost hit her. They could have injured that girl. They could have hurt that girl, and that's what was crazy. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. There's no place in the game for that. Is basically what I'm saying. Okay.
You tell them, Top Dog.
You got it.
You play by the rules.
You got it.
Legal hits only in the WNBA.
Hanford never had an illegal hit ever in his career. Never.
Maybe one or two. You know.
Never.
We've got to take one more break. Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. Hanford, I know you're a big NBA fan. You know, the thing I didn't get to ask you, I know you've been following along with the finals. But, hey, what were your thoughts on Dan Hurley not taking the Lakers gig? 6 years, $70 million.
All I could say is, wow. I was a little bit shocked because I thought he was pretty much leaning toward taking that job because I thought it would have been such a perfect time for him because when you look at it, I mean, he's pretty much done everything he could do at UConn. I mean,
he's chasing his third straight title.
Yeah, he's chasing his third straight title, and now college athletics is just so it's pretty much like the pros right now. But he turned them down. I think what's going to happen now because there's been a rumor that LeBron liked J.J. Redick. So maybe LeBron is going to get his wish with this guy. But I don't think they're going to. LeBron is what? He'll be 40 coming up. And they're not going to make their decision on just what he wants because he's only going to play maybe 1-2 years tops, I would think, Dustin.
2 years tops.
Yeah. That's just my thought. Oh, I got to ask you guys this, and I know I'm jumping off the rail. Did you guys see James Harden at his wedding?
Oh yeah, I knew you were going to have something to say about that.
that was so funny, man. I mean, his girl, she was sitting there, and what was the girl throwing a bouquet or something or whatever it is?
I didn't even know they still did that at weddings.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in, I don't think ever.
You're probably going to catch one, but anyway.
You like throw it back?
Yeah. and his girl caught it, and James Harden's eyes got so big. He was looking like, get away from me. You know, she was like, oh, you're going to marry me right now? And he's like, I don't think so. But that was so funny. I had to mention that. And Gabby, I think we've had Dustin on the show, and first of all, we thank him for being here, but I think he should thank you and I for letting him come on our show.
Absolutely.
Wow, how about that? Just setting you up to pat us on the back.
Don't you think he should thank us? Bone, what do you think? You think he should thank us for letting him on our show?
It couldn't hurt.
Right.
Hanford, you know it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And Gab, you know, she's a professional.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you coming on, especially since sometimes we don't have guests.
And do you know we have minicamp coming up?
We do have minicamp coming up. Any minicamp stories from you?
Yeah, I don't think there's. You know what? It's just a great time when the guys get together, and obviously when minicamps start, that lets you know the season is not long. Well, how many days do we have?
90 days.
90 days.
From this filming of this episode. We're trying to keep it as evergreen as possible. And if you don't date it one more time.
Yeah. Well, I would expect.
He said we got mini camp starting up. Listen, we're trying to run this a couple weeks.
Hey, you know, mini camp is mini camp, you know. But Bo told me to talk about mini camp.
You're right.
You know,
it will still be going on.
You know, it's still going on and on and on because the guys are there pretty much. They're there pretty much now all the time in the building, and especially not just the ones that have been hurt, but everybody's coming in now because you're getting ready for the season, and they're in there. So it's going to be interesting. Boy, we got to have a big year because that whole AFC North is going to be strong again. So Juggernaut, yeah. And all four teams, there's a possibility that all four teams, I think, can be good enough to go to the playoffs. Yeah,
Except for one.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't think the Steelers are going.
You are crazy, man. They have two quarterbacks now.
No Steelers.
Yeah, thank you.
Great show, everybody. Dustin, thanks so much for coming on. That is your Hanford Dixon show. We'll see you next time.